way further. There you go, thanks mate.
Ah? Tá primo. Os pletas.
Ja wam pokażę.
Jaka presja?
Mistrz, Joel.
Stary, będę sobie myślał, oczywiście ja ja bym się nadawał.
O, gol.
Not started yet. One, two, one, two, one, two. Right, I don't think I can ignore you anymore, really, can I? If I do, you'll write bad things about my supervisor. Oh, we got there early. Now, Bowman completely ignored it. However, if I start now, and it's still not quite time, just before 1:45, people arriving now, they'll be saying, now, Bowman, don't obey them start times. And they'll write bad things about me on TripAdvisor. I hate TripAdvisor. Guys, I have the great pleasure of being known as the Warwick Castle Bowman. I've called it today's How About because the bowling normally works on a Sunday, can't make it today, so I say, would you mind coming in today, Mr. Bowman? And I said I would love to, but if I may, the conversation on the phone then took a very strange turn. So strange, in fact, that I want to start the whole presentation off with it. Because the conversation went like this. They went, Mr. Bowman, we love what you do, but, and honestly, they used this terminology with me, they said, but could you be a bit more interactive?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I was confused. Interactive? Interactive? Me? I could be 3D. They didn't appreciate that. I mean, I made that arrow. Look at it. I made that 2 years ago. I was watching the Bake Off. I mean, look at it. It's old, but it looks good. For those who are archers here, I'm using a VP10 bullet pile. I'm using a POC 1132 shaft. It's been spined to 65 to 75, 70 pounds of draw weight. I'm using a 5.5 inch goose teal cut fletch, linen whip with a hand cut knock. If you're an archer, you know exactly what all that means. If you're not, you don't care. But I can assure you, if I was to shoot you with that arrow, whether you're an archer or you're not an archer, your final thought would be, oh, that's a good looking arrow. At least he cares about his work. However, rather than shoot you today, interactive, I can lecture on history, I've got to be interactive. But, if my interest in being interactive today, what we're going to do, as it's like the bank holiday weekend, if it hits the target, everybody, I don't care where it hits, as long as it hits, big cheer. Just want to hear a big cheer. Let me hear a big cheer after 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
That's not bad, but it needs to be a big cheer. Or I'm going to shoot a child.
Yeah.
And what is quite worrying, you're all going, oh. Now we're talking. Right, you are confused about the target I'm aiming for, it's green. Joking about the green. Just try one more, just wake this up. So if it hits the target, big cheer. Oh, we'll get him. We'll get him. He's looking scared. Last one with this while I wake everything up.
Last chance.
Oh, I thought I had him that time. Luckily I put 15 arrows out. I've got a few spares in case I need them. It has to be said, I've got to hit the target. I look a bit like a numpty. We'll soon get it on target in a moment. But I've got to hit that. Medieval man on a battlefield, though, he's doing something totally different. When he shoots his, I would argue, medieval archers got it easier than me. All the medieval archers got to do is stand on a battlefield, face the knights, charge him at 40 miles an hour on a horse with a lance and means to kill him. I've got to entertain you for 20 minutes. That's much more difficult. It really is. Medieval bowmen, when they shoot, most of their arrows are left in a volley. They're not shooting straight, it's flat shot. They're actually shooting high, like so. Ranging arrows up, bringing them down upon their enemies' heads. Imagine if you can that. Thousands of arrows taken to the sky. Now this bow is 65 pounds of draw weight. So that means I get about 130, 140 yards out of this bow. You don't know what that looks like. That's me standing here by this post here. I can hit that bridge over there. I won't tell you how I know I can do this. Now, do you know I can do this? Would you like to see me try?
Yes.
I said, would you like to see me try?
Yeah!
What is worrying there is every child went, yeah, do it, which I expected. What is really worrying is every parent was going, oh, go on then. Of course I'm not, but they would range it up and they would bring it down. At the Battle of Shrewsbury, the battle was described as a cloudburst of arrows descending from heaven. What brilliant words. And they were written in the 15th century. How cool is that? I'm going to shoot this next arrow. I'm going to try and get my eye in. It was great this morning. I've got a bit off focus for a second. So I'm going to try and hit that target. If it hits, big cheer. Let me hear that big cheer after 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah!
Right! But this next sentence is the most important thing I say in this whole presentation. As you cheer, throw money. Throw money. You'll be pleased to know we'll practice this bit till you get this bit right. Okay. Right, let's give this a go. See if I can't get my eye back in. It's in the right trajectory. Throw money.
Amator.
Throw money. Last one, here we go. If it hits, big cheer.
Oh, close.
Left and right. Now, of course, the bow back then was a big, heavy yew thing. I'm using lemon wood and ash right here. Traditionally, they would use big, heavyweight bows like this. A piece of yew would have horn knocks on the end. The string was made of linen, silk, hemp. Does anybody here have a cat? That they don't want. There is this notion, this idea that we use animal gut, we get animals to make bowstrings. No, linen, silk and gut. Linen, silk and hemp. That's the material used. And that would be your bow. Big heavy bow like this is Victorian. This one's medieval. This one here is 70 pounds of draw weight. This is over 100 pounds of draw weight. This one here is a laminate. It wouldn't exist back then. This is a single piece of wood, piece of yew. If that means nothing to you, and you simply do not care, and your only thought is, shut up, shoot another arrow. The best way to differentiate these bows, this one here is great to shoot outside a castle. This one here was great to shoot Frenchmen. If you can get your head around that, you'd understand the 14th century really rather well. And I suddenly realised my next question, my first question actually this afternoon should have been, is there anyone from France here at all? No? I'll shoot the target again then. Bowmen got paid for their services. They got paid about 6 pence a day. 6 pennies. Is that a lot of money?
Yes.
Put your hands in the air if you think 6 pence a day is a lot of money. Okay, 1 or 2. Put your hands in the air if you think 6 pence a day is not a lot of money. Game 1 or 2. Put your hands in the air if you think I haven't given you nearly enough information to make any kind of sound historical judgment. A lot of that going around, I notice. It has to be said that bowmen got paid 6 pence a day at the Battle of Agincourt and at the battles. Having said that, that's not history. It's a fact, but it's not history. It's a piece of trivia. We can't work out any kind of value judgment, how many of a man found about the bow, on 6 pence a day. It's worthless. However, if we give it context, we can place it in its place. For example, if I tell you that a blacksmith will earn 4 pence a day, a carpenter 3 pence a day, a labourer 5 pence a day, a bowman 6. And then I ask the question again, 6 pence a day, is it a lot of money? Your reply would be? Yes! Well, Warwick Castle thinks so, I'm still on that. But yeah, we've got an idea of value now, what a medieval man is willing to pay for a bow. Most archers, I was saying to a few people here at the beginning, most archers think about £5 a year, 240 pennies to the pound back then. So that places the bowman. Common peasantry is what we are. Yeoman and less. Every bowman who could earn about £2 a year is deemed to be earning enough to own one of these. And I realise as I talk to you now with so many people here that I'm sounding a bit like BBC 4. And you're all developing that which I refer to quite commonly as the history stare. It will carry on talking. If I'm not careful, it will develop into that most terrible malady, the history nod. which can then develop into that most heinous of things. We call it in the trade the National Trust Watch. And I want to avoid that at all costs. And it is bank holiday weekend, I realise that. We've got a lot of kids in and families. So I want to change this up for the next few hours. We're going to change this around a bit. And we're going to go a bit, we're going to park BBC 4. It's good to know it's there, but you don't always watch it. I'm a bit of an anorak when it comes to the history of the longbow. Not everybody is. Just want to see guys shoot a few arrows, miss a few and hit a few. So we're going to try this. We're going to go a bit ITV. We're going to go a bit BBC. CBBC. We're going horrible histories. Yeah, see? Put your hands up like this. Hands in the air, everybody. Help me out. I'm rushing my shots a bit. I need your help. Hands high in the air. You surrender really well. Put your hands on your knees. I want to hear the slap as it comes down. Hands high. Hands on knees. Oh, that was good. Hands high. On knees. As one, not by committee. High. Knees. High. Knees. I'm just messing up. Guys, as
My
I
father
pull
was
back on the
called
boat,
from
could I
Belarus because
get
he
a bit of a
was
drum
fighting in
roll?
Belarus.
Come on, let me hear you. Come on. Come on. Louder. That's brilliant. That's great. Don't do it like you land that or I shoot that boy with the number 2 on his chest. Don't know what your name is? Don't care. You're my target if they don't do it well. Also, I'm only kidding, you're looking a bit nervous now. Also, you know in the football when the goalie takes a kick and the crowd goes, "Whoa!" I want one of those as well, without the swearing at the end. So drum roll with the new sound, go! Great, don't worry, we're not a library. You can make more noise than that. Drum roll with the new sound, go! Then if it hits the target, I remember my target's green. Keeping it really easy today. If it hits the target, everybody, I do not want to cheer. And you haven't thrown any money, so I'm still poor. The next arrow hits, we're going horrible histories on this one. I want to hear sounds of pain and death. And you've been shot with an arrow. Let me hear pain and death after 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Hey, that went fast. Really good. Right, here we go then. We've got a lot to do. Drum roll, please. Aiming really left. Let's try one more. Drum roll, please. Over his head again. Last one. Drum roll, please. No! You don't cheer when you get shot with an arrow. Your final thought as you get shot, there's oh, good shot, well done. Harold's last words at the Battle of Hastings went, oh, didn't see that coming. Well done, you.
Good
Get it right. I want pain and I want death with acting. Yes, get it right. So, hands on knees, everybody. Oh,
Yeah!
drum roll, please. I need to stand 10 foot back. I'm just going over the top. Longbows back in the day were so powerful and strong, we had to start young. From the age of 8, you learned to shoot a bow. One of these. That's a big piece of yew. And it would cost you 32 pennies for one of these. 32. 24 arrows, 16 pennies. 6 strings would cost you a penny. That's 49 pennies for these. 49. I've told you what a carpenter's earning per day. 3 pence a day. So suddenly we got an idea of expense and value. Does anyone here like horses?
No.
I hate horses. I see that My Little Pony, I just want to shoot it. With that, Bowman at the Battle of Poitiers, fighting under the command of the Earl of Warwick, shooting arrows like this into the French cavalry as they came charging on. Bowman at Cressy in 1346. The guy who built these walls was the marshal of that battlefield. Thomas Beecham fought valiant in that battlefield. Thousands of bowmen were there, between 7,000 and 10,000. And it has to be said, that as they shot their arrows, they saw off 16 horse charges, French knights. Our main enemy at this time in the 100 Years' War was, of course, the French. So this next arrow, I'm going to want that drum roll. Drum roll, go. Move sound, go. If it hits, again, I want pain and death. Let me hear pain and death after 3. 1, 2, 3. But, as I say, our main enemy is the French. So I want pain and death, but I want it in a French accent. I do not want any crass stereotyping. Imagine you're a French warrior struck with an arrow. You rip it out of your body. You look your enemy in the eyes. And that terrible sound can be heard, emanating across the battlefield. That will haunt your dreams and nightmares. And that terrible sound would sound something like this.
How?
Ooh la la! It's a bit of a stereotype, but I think we can get away with it. So tout le monde ici, vous bien en anglais? Ooh la la. Après toi et vous, d'accord? Ooh la la. So 1, 2, 3.
Ooh la la!
No. You cannot go. Ooh la la. Imagine being wounded terribly with an arrow. Oh! Oh! Tremblesse avec le flash! Ooh la la! No! 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 Ooh la la! I will not have it. I want it right, I want it proper. So here we go. Drum roll, please.
Ooh la la!
Try one more. Nice and loud. Drum roll, please. Try one more. It's come back. I've suddenly woke up. So you can see these men shooting at the age of 8, learning to shoot the bow, learning to shoot well, and then getting paid for it. It underlines the importance of the bow. You don't have to go by me and my bias. Suddenly I demonstrated, hopefully, the importance and value that was laid on longbow shooting. Having said that, we've talked a lot over these past 15-20 minutes about the bow, money, value, how they shot, on occasion how they missed. So we've done a lot. However, I would normally consider that job done, but not this year. I had this phone call this morning, as I said, and it went on something like this. They said, Mr. Mope, again, we love what you do. Could you be more interactive? Oh, and at the end, could you finish on a challenge? I said, finish on a challenge? Shooting a longbow is challenging enough, surely. And they said, no, do something else. I said, like what? They said, shoot a helmet. I said, I don't have a helmet. They said, don't worry, we'll provide one. And I was expecting a 15th century German Gothic helmet for a man to wear on a battlefield. Instead, I got a plastic child's helmet that's seen better days. And it's tiny, and it's on that post. We're going to try and hit this helmet. This is called pal shooting. Medieval archers would do this in an effort to improve their shot taking. This, I've got 5 arrows right here. 5 attempts to hit that helmet. This morning show, shot twice, hit it twice. This morning I was on fire. I'm burning out. So we're going to try and hit this thing with your help. I'm going to want that drum roll. Drum roll, go. Move sound, go. And if it hits, even if it bounces off, which tends to happen with helmets, the shape of them, I want a big loud cheer. Let me hear a big cheer after 3. 1, 2, 3. I will be cheering too. However, if it should miss, I want to hear a big loud cheer. Because it's difficult. No, I know, did it this morning. What you can do is this and go, ooh, that was close. So everybody, after 3, give me an ooh, that was close. 1, 2, 3.
Ooh, that was close.
Don't sound so sarky. But that's perfect. Right, here we go. I've got 5 arrows left. How many arrows have I got left? 5. You can't just say 5. You got to give me a bit of drama with it. You got to go 5 arrows left. So here we go. How many arrows have I got left?
5 arrows left.
Oh, doesn't that work? How many arrows have I got left?
5
arrows left. Aiming for the helmet.
No.
Drum roll, please.
No!
That was close.
Ah, disappointing. How many arrows have we got left?